Hey traders, John Howell here. Let's get ready for another amazing, exciting week with the good old stocky market, right? So I'm going to be going through all the markets today and just give you an update on what's happening with them technically. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, if you do need some help with your trading, first thing in the description, I'm giving away a brand new free training that I did. It goes for about 90 minutes long, walking through some really awesome system strategies and process. Plus also I'm sending you a whole complete free trading course as well too on chart reading techniques and the biggest mistakes you're making and stuff as well. I'm just sending that all to you for free to get you to get you started on the right foot. So very first thing in the description, guys, get access to that. Let's actually start off with the stock market first, and then we'll go from here. So the big picture I'm seeing right now when it comes to the stock market is that we are in a bit of a downward trend. And yesterday's video, some people are saying, "I hope you are right." Yesterday's video, I was saying that, and if we have a look at, let me actually bring up the trading view. You'll be able to see this more on the trading view bit. When I was looking at the Sp500, I was saying yesterday that we have a long-term support level here and we could be getting ready for a bounce. See this really long-term support level here that we got on this here. We got a this really long-term support level here. Well, I was saying that we're at a long-term support level and we're getting a bounce now, and this actually could be where the buyers come in. And people are saying, well, I hope you are right. Well, all I was saying is that we need to wait for the market to tell us that the buyers are coming right. This is a big thing, not preempting, not saying, okay, well, this is going to be the bottom, let me get in now, because it may not be. We may go up for a week and then straight back down again, right? We may just be getting ready for one of these again. So the big thing here is that we're at support, but we need to wait and see to see whether the buyers are going to come in. So if I'm looking at this S&P chart right now, what we want to start to see is this. We want to start to see a pattern that's going to come in. And we're going to see, we need to see something like this, where the market comes up, we may get a few days like that, and then it may even pull back a little bit. But then we need to see it hold, and then we start to make a move back up like this. We need to see something like this to tell us the buyers are coming back in, because we haven't really, throughout this entire time, we haven't gotten that. We haven't gotten that. Now, this is the upward trend. Now, this is technical analysis, okay, guys? This is for people that are trading the markets. Inflation, interest rate, all that sort of stuff is not going to make is not where you want to be focusing on if you are a short-term trader, right? You're looking to get in and get out even for a couple of days or more. Just really focus on what the market is doing, not the news, okay? Because the inflation's been there, the market knows about the inflation. Interest rates, the market knows about the interest rates, okay? So the big thing we want to be watching out for is this. We want to see this pattern here. I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen. I'm saying if, the big word is if, right? If we actually get this sexy beast of a pattern and we get that, then yeah, now we're talking. Now the buyers look like they could be coming back in. And then, but we need it, and then we could start to see something like this, right? So moving back up through there, and that's the same with all the other indices as well too, right? The Nasdaq as well too, same sort of scenario. We may get a short-term rally out of this, but it's not over. It's not over until we start to get a new upward trend. We need to see the buyers coming back in. Okay, so. What I mean by that is we need to see the trend change. Right now, we're in a very big downward trend, and we've been having a big pullback through here. And so what we need to see is if this is going to be some sort of a bottoming pattern in the markets, then we would need to see this market rally up, come back down again, and then start to create that higher low. And then that will start to give us a bit of a high probability that this is going to be a really strong turning point in the market, and the same for the Dow Jones as well. So we're looking at that when it look at the Dow Jones. If we have a look at the Russell, and the Russell is actually retraced all the way down to this support level here. So we had the sideways movement, and then we came down. The big thing about the Russell is this big long-term trend line here. So you can see that big long-term trend line that's coming down. The Russell here is going to be That's going to be the line in the sand for the Russell. So we can see where we're going right now. We really need to see the Russell start to really break up and out, and again start to break out. So again, if we can get a rally up, and then maybe even start to have a bit of a pullback through here, and then start to break out something like that. If we can get something like that again, we've got a low, we've got a higher low, and we're breaking past previous highs. And the biggest thing about trading is not throwing our thoughts out the window, like, well, this is what the market's doing, and that's always the hardest thing, right? The hardest thing is taking what the market is telling you, and then start to throw all these other fears, doubts, thoughts, right? Because the market is the market. So if we do get this higher low, then that could be pretty powerful. So that's a big thing I'm watching for when looking at that as well. Now we can also see that if we go have a look at the fear and greed index, we also can see that last week, there we go there, last week we're still at really extreme fear. Last week we got a massive extreme fear reading. This tells me that we're probably going to have a bit of a significant bottom coming real soon. This may be even it right now, because look at even in the last few months, right? In the last sort of, even in the last couple of years, should I say, last couple of years, bouncing. You can see we only got around about that above where it is right now, right? So maybe the 20 mark, as you can see. But you can see, look, we got all the way down through here. That's probably going to cause, because every time we got these oversold readings, oversold like maximum fear readings, guess what? Now this is probably going to be a bit of this actually could be maximum fear before we start to see an incredible upward move. Now I've always had traders. I've always had a view that the second half of this year is going to be incredible. So let's go have a look at the good old gold and silver. So gold and silver, gold has continued down. The big thing about gold is that we're still stuck in this overall big triangle pattern here. You can see this really long-term sort of triangle pattern that we're still stuck in right now. Gold has pulled back like everything else as well too. So it's going to be really interesting to see what actually goes on here. There's no one really in control. And again, same thing for this daily charts. We want to see gold start to create a bit of an upward trend out of this here. The same sort of thing. But on the short-term level, we've got a bit of a downward channel that's going down through here. And then also that level through there as well too, right? So we're in a bit of a channel, and we're at that level right now. The big key, there's actually a really big sort of key for me, and this is for looking at gold. The big key for me is that 1900 level. The 1900 level, that's the big key for me. So because we may break out of this level, you can see all these major sort of conjunction of confluence through there, a lot of resistance, support, then it became a whole bunch of resistance. So we know that area is big. If we can start to get a rally back above and we start to create a bit of a high low, that's going to be really bullish, because now gold's starting to kick back in as well too. So the big key for me is to watch to see when we start a bit of a rally, does it actually start to break past 1900? Because if it does, that's going to be a really strong sign for the markets through there. Looking at silver, and silver, same sort of thing. Silver's actually had a strong big flush out. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see silver have a very strong rally after this break to the downside. The reason why is because there's a few things. Reason why is, one, we've actually had a very long extended move, and we know that markets don't really, generally anyway, tend to move that much when it comes to, like we tend to get pullbacks, and we just had a very long extended move. We've actually flushed below the lows through here, as you can see. So once we start to get back above 2150, then it's a very strong probability we're going to see a very strong rally out of silver, and we're going to start to see maybe even a move back up towards maybe this resistance level here out of silver, maybe the $24 level. That doesn't mean the trend has changed. It just means that we've got so far away, we've got so far away from. Let me bring up what I'm talking about here. All right, look at this here. You can see how the market gets so far away from the moving average before it actually comes and snaps back. And we're so far overextended. You can see even with the even with the VIG crash that happened in 2020. Look at that there, big strong move down, and then we got the snapback. So we're getting that support level there. Once we start to get back above this level through here, it's probably going. This actually could be even maybe the start of a big upward move out of silver, right? Because now we're getting this sort of move through here. This actually could be the start of that. Again, when I'm not gonna count the chickens before they roost. Is that the saying? I don't know. I know I just finished having some eggs. So anyway, so we had we got this breakdown through here. Again, this breakdown could be that last final hooray. They stopped a lot of people out before we start to see a big move up. So the big thing for me once again is that we could actually start to see a very strong move back up towards the $24 level. Depending on what happens from there, it may continue back down. But for this thing to actually have a very big upward move, it needs to create a higher low. Right, so we may get a very big strong move like this out of this, but we need to come back down and then create a higher low. We need to create this higher low for the trend to actually start to the upside, and then show that the buyers are likely to continue. So let's go have a look at the mining sector, and the mining sector is actually pretty much doing the same sort of thing anyway. Let's just bring up the same sort of thing, where if we squeeze this up, we're almost at that level of support. We didn't actually get, we're very, 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 just everything just got smashed, absolutely demolished when it comes to the mining sector. But the GDXJ is the same sort of thing, right? Look at this here, the GDXJ, there we go to here, and that's the take two, right? And now we've got the same sort of thing. So this actually could be, once again, this could be an end of trend type of indicator, where once again, where we had a major level of support. We've had a very big move down, had a flush down. We may be getting ready to have a very, very strong move to the upside when it comes to the GDX from there. Again, but we need to see at least a 50% retracement we could see. So again, but we need to see this thing get back above that major support level there. But if we do, we could probably see a very strong rally up to around the 44 level there. But that doesn't mean that the buyers are back in control. It just means we're having a very strong rally out of this level. What we want to see is that if that does happen, is if we can get this, we need to see the market pull back, create some sort of a higher low, and then we need to see this to start to see a really significant move to the upside, because we haven't seen that yet. Even through here, right? We didn't get a higher low. We had just had a very strong move up, and then it got thumped. Right? This is what we want to see for the market to tell us, like, okay, now we're getting ready. Okay, now we're getting ready to have a big move up, because we didn't even get a higher low through here. It just had a big move up, and then we've had a big move down. Now, what we don't want to see, looking at the charts, is what we don't want to see. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see a weak upward movement. A strong upward movement is something like this, right? Where it just has a pretty nice move up. We want to see something like that. What we don't want to see right now, and this is the same for silver as well too, and gold and all that sort of stuff. If we start to see a rally, what we don't want to see is something like this. See how it's just slowly going sideways, but maybe slightly up? It's not, again, pink is strong. Strong is like, here we go, we're getting a very strong rally. Blue is, see how it's like, oh, it's not going up fast. It's just going sideways slow, just a slight little pullback. If we get scenario A, very, 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 very powerful to show that the buyers are starting to come back in a little bit through here. If we get scenario B, which is this bit here, and this is the same for gold and silver as well too. If we get that, there's a real big probability we're going to get something like this, and then we're going to go for another big move to the downside. That's just the facts of it, guys. And this is where we're at. We're at a do or die situation: big rally or another big leg down. And this is the reason why over this next couple of weeks is going to be really, really, really key to see what's going on there as well. Let's go have a look at the silver miners, the SILJ. So the SILJ had a very strong level of support around that $11 level there. $11 right there. As you can see, around that $11 level there. So this, once again, guys, this actually may be some sort of a false breakout type of move, where we got this breakout here, and then we could actually start to see a very, very, very nice move up. And once again, guys, we want to see this thing start to pick up. It's the same sort of thing for the other indices as well. And the SIL is the one that's actually got hit the hardest, because it not only did it break that major support level, but then it's actually continued down. So the silver stocks are absolutely just getting creamed. Absolutely creamed. Like, silver stocks are almost getting down to where they were back, when the whole vid situation happened. So, but traders, please keep an eye on the mining sector, okay? I know right now you're focusing on the right now, but over the months, keep an eye on the mining sector, because this decade is going to have a massive windfall behind the commodity prices, mining sector, gold and silver. It's going to have a massive win. This is the decade for the mining sector, for metals and miners, okay? Now, again, this is the decade. I don't know when that's going to be. So knowing that in the back of our mind, we need to keep an eye out for charts that change, right? So if we do get a rally up, and then we do get a bit of a pullback on this weekly chart, and we start to get up, and this may take 2, maybe even 3 months to form. If that does start to happen, and we start to get a bit of a breakout out of this level 3, and we start to see something like this, that's going to be really, really, really powerful, because now we're actually changing the overall tune in the markets there. So we need to really keep an eye out for that. And again, this is the decade for the metals and the miners. So just always keep an eye out for that when we're looking for opportunities. If you're looking for fundamentals and opportunities for this decade, the win behind things is not the crypto market. Okay, crypto market has already had its move and its crash. Okay, please don't try to chase something that's already made big moves. It's just rule number 1. Rule number 2 is look for opportunities for things that haven't made big moves but have the potential to make big moves, and then jumping on that when it's already gone up 600% in 4 months. That's just way too much. So let's go have a look at the interest rates. And a big thing that I'm noticing with the interest rates is that this is the 10-year here. Is that I do believe, looking at this level here, is that we're probably likely to get a bit of a fail through here. The big key level for me that I'm watching for right now, looking at these interest rates, let's go back down to the 4-hour chart, is where we are right now. Okay, so we can see how, especially the 10-year, if the 10-year fails to get back above this sort of 3 handle, call it the 3 handle. If it does fail to get back above there, which I do believe it's going to, then we're likely to start to see a bit more of a pullback. I believe right now anyway, we're at that level where we're at this final hooray for this period through here. So interest rates do look like they're actually we may even come back up, reject there, and then even just start to come back down and pull back down a little bit. Even a 50% retracement. Doesn't mean the whole interest rate trend has changed. No. But we're probably going to get that, and then a bit of a pullback, and then maybe we get back, and then maybe get a bit of a pullback before we continue up again. But right now, in the short term, that's what I see happening. And the same for the 30-year as well too. The 30-year, same sort of thing. We've been up for so long. And if we look at these weekly charts is just going very, very, very vertical. We're at this major level. You can see this whole area as well when it comes to the interest rates, and mainly for this level through, yeah, as you can see, right, that whole level through there, and even just a bit higher as well too. And if we have a look like a little bit higher, this whole area through here is definitely a major level of resistance, and we've had a massive move to the upside. And a big thing, traders, is that once again, when you're trading these markets, remember how the markets work. That's why when the market's going up, now is the wrong time to get in. Even if it does keep going up a little bit, it's the wrong time because we don't know when the pullback is going to happen. Get up. It's wrong time to get in. It's wrong time because we're likely to get a pullback. It's just the nature of the flow of how the markets work, and we can just go from there. Make sense? So let's go have a look at Bitcoin, and look at what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. Bitcoin could be getting ready for a turnaround. Oh, you never heard that someone say that before, yeah? I'm joking, by the way. Everyone's looking to buy Bitcoin. Anyway, so right now, looking at the good old Bitcoin. Actually, I've called Bitcoin for quite some time. He's quite bitter for most people right now. I'm getting so many dislikes. Actually, the dislike button doesn't work. So just click. See, because the dislike doesn't, Because the dislike button doesn't work, just click the other button, and that'll be a dislike, all right? Put the thumbs up. The other like button works, okay? So click that one, that'll work. Anyway, the reason why I say that is, again, guys, I don't know fundamentally why or whatever. It's like, it's not my job. My job is just to read the charts, because the charts are telling us a story. And I can see that we are at a very, very, very strong level of support level through here. And we may be getting ready towards having some sort of end of trend move. Now, I said maybe, okay? Maybe. Just like with a lot of the mining sector and also the indices right now, we're at a very major support level. Some more. This is a weekly chart of Bitcoin. So if we go look at the daily charts, what we need to start seeing is a trend change for this thing to start to make a very big move up, right? We need to see this thing change. So what we need to see is we're at a major level of support through here, major level of support, and what we need to see is we need to see this thing rally up, and we need to see if we get a higher low, and then this thing starting to move up. We need to see this thing here for this thing to start to reset back in the markets as well. Because even if we go back to look at this here, guys, right? When did the bull market started? Right? When did the bull market get started? As you can see, what do we have? All right, let's just do this up here. Look at this here. So we had low, higher low, higher low, higher low, breaking past previous highs, etc., right? It's squeezing up and squeezing up, and then we made higher lows all up, higher low, higher low, higher low, major higher low, and look at this here. And this is where trend analysis is important, because it actually is telling us higher low, higher low, higher low. What is this? This is a lower low, and the most important part of an upward trend is what? Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. If we break a low, that means the upward trend could be coming to an end. Now, what's the most important part to a downtrend? Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Then now we get what? Rounds up, rips high, lifts to lower high. Who's in control? Sellers. And then ever since then, we came down, lower high. We had a bit of a false breakout. We started a bit of an upward trend, but then, oh, look, it changed, right? It changed really quickly, didn't it? See how we went low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Then we dropped what? What is that there? That's a lower low, lower high. Very, very similar to what? This situation back here. Lower low, lower high. Then we broke it. And then now look what happened as well too. Then we came back down. We came back down, slightly a downtrend, and then we actually kicked back up, right? This was actually a bit of a pullback. And then now we're getting, and now we actually came up through here, a bit of a sideways movement. And now you can see we've been in this real sort of downward trend sort of phase through here. Very, very, very weak pullback. And now we're getting a pullback through here as well too. So the big key here, guys, is just wait for the market to turn around. If you're looking to get into anything, right? It doesn't matter if it's cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin or any of those sorts of stuff. The big thing, the big keys, okay? The big key for you to do really well in the markets is throw your ego out the window. My ego has cost me so much money. Millions of dollars have been lost, right? Lost from not taking positions, but also lost from actually trading as well too. But the big thing from that is that my ego has always been the biggest thing out there, right? And so throw your ego out the window. And the ego simply means that whatever you think, because remember, the market works in opposites. It really does. When there's major fear, we know we need to be buying. When there's major greed, we know we need to be selling. And with that in mind, if all we see is so much negativity and so much fear and all these markets crashing, all that sort of stuff, that's what we think in the moment, right? We don't think, oh, the market's going to bottom soon, so it's going to be a good time to buy. The rational, logical mind says, oh my goodness, there's so much fear in the marketplace. Oh my goodness, why would I get in right now? There's so much fear. But then the logical mind says, oh my goodness, this market's taken off like a rocket. It's up 300% in 2 months. There's so many people buying, people making millions of dollars. I need to get in now. And then they lose money. See how it's the opposite with the markets and how all that works. So there we go, traders. Hope this helped you out. Remember, guys, if you do need some help, grab that free training and the free trading course that I'm actually giving away below. And I promise that all that free training I'm giving away with the link below is going to really help you. You go through that training, the very first training you get, and then also my system will email you Also the access to the free trading course as well too. You go through that sort of stuff, guys, and you'll start to see some real big differences, and you'll start to analyze the holes in your trading as well, of where you need to start to fix it, because the very first video in the free trading course is all about the biggest mistakes you're making, but also how to overcome them. So first link in the description, guys, click on that, go get access to that, and I'll see you real soon.